Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the program. I'm Rick Amato. To one of this nation's leading media watchdogs. You see him on Hannity every week, Brent Bozell of the Media Research Center. Brent, how you doing?
Hi, Rick. How you doing?
Brent Bozell, you make me nostalgic for Ronald Reagan. That's what concerns me about this GOP field. I just don't know who I can wrap my arms around just yet.
I can guarantee you this, Rick. Absolutely guarantee you this. The candidate who comes forward with a bold program will win.
Yep.
And will not just win the nomination, but I predict can handedly, with all the advantages that Obama has, with $1 billion in the bank, with the unions, with academia, with the news media, with Wall Street, with every asset imaginable, I say the Republican can win handedly if the Republican has a vision and is bold about it. If the Republican comes forward and says, I'm not as much as Obama, I will do a little bit less than he will because I think he's going a little too far, then Obama wins.
Yeah, you know what? You got me excited, Brent Bozell. You got me excited when I heard you lay out that scenario. And as I listened to your words, America is craving for that individual.
Yep. Consider that when Ronald Reagan was president, 30% of Americans called themselves conservatives. Today it's 44%. Consider that on election day, 41% of Americans said that they were members of the Tea Party. After all the nonstop attacks from the national news media, that number is now 58% of Americans. There is a massive and now a majority of Americans that are saying this country is terribly out of whack. This government is out of control. This is my government. These are my rights. This is my Constitution. These are my children. This is my future. This is my country. And darn it, you're destroying it.
Coming back to the media, Brent, it's funny you make the comments that you make about Bill Maher.
I will tell you, I did his show in the early days when he was on Comedy Central. That's when it first started.
Okay.
And the first couple of times I did it, it was an absolute riot to do. It was the original Bill Maher idea of putting two conservatives against two liberals and making them polar opposites. For example, I went up against Oliver Stone one time, and I mean you can't get more opposites than that. I had Mike Ditka on my side, and I forget he had Valerie Harper on his side.
That sounds like a lot of fun already.
Oh, it was a blast, and Bill Maher was a blast, and it was the first time I did it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The second time I did it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The third time I did it was sometime after the Christopher Reeve horseback accident.
Right.
And Bill changed the program so that at the end he wanted to do a monologue and wanted us to comment on it. He was dead serious. The monologue was about the brutality to the horse.
Oh man!
And
and
he rambled on and on and on about the evils of horseback riding, and went around the table, and there was a girl who was a beautiful supermodel. She said something that was completely forgettable, and Mike Ditka just waved them away like a mosquito, and I should have done the same thing, but instead I spoke up and I told him as nicely as I could that was about the dumbest thing I'd ever heard in my life, and well, that got him very upset. And
really,
yeah, well, it got very testy between the two of us, and it got supremely testy when he talked about the violence that was being done by putting horseshoes on them. I tried to explain to him that if horses could yawn during a procedure, they would, and he's obviously never seen a horse shod, and given the fact that horses feel nothing when nails are being driven in their hooves because it's all callous and it's there to protect their hooves. It's only a protection measure. And his answer was, well, tell that to Jesus Christ on the cross.
Man.
And that got very ugly. And that was the last time I did his show and last time I ever wanted to do his show.
All right. Brent Bozell, we appreciate taking so much time with us today on the program.